I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, and I was raised in Houston. Lived here pretty much all my life with the exception of a few years in New York, where I did some stage work and stuff, and that's about it.
My name is Mirelle. I'm a voice actress here at the lovely ADV Films. I've worked here for almost 3 years now. I've grown up here in Houston, Texas, and I am a veteran of the stage. I'm a stage actress here in town that has been brought into the anime community.
Well, it was something that I guess I always knew that I wanted to do. Even though I tried a lot of other paths in life, I was a hairdresser for about 5 years right out of high school, and I used to manage apartment complexes and everything like that, and then I started putting myself back through school at the University of Houston, and that's when I wanted to get into the drama program and try to start a career in acting. It was just kind of something that I always knew. I did have a background in dance when I was younger, so as far as performing, it was, I guess, something that I kind of got a bug really early on.
I first started acting, actually I started out as a dancer. At age 4, I began my ballet, tap, and jazz. That kind of progressed, and I think people began to realize that I was a little more flamboyant than the rest of the girls. So it turned out that I kind of segued into acting from there. I've been acting probably since about the age of 12 in, school productions and whatnot, and just kind of gradually went on from there.
Well, a few years ago, some other actors around town that I was friends with had started doing some dubbing work here, and I kept hearing about it, and they kept saying, "Shelley, you should go over there and audition," and blah, 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 blah. So it was something that I probably knew about for a good year, and then finally there was an open call to come in, and I went on that. Unfortunately, it was with the director that I guess I impressed fairly well, but he was gone shortly after that, so it was probably like another year before I came in on another audition, and then I finally started getting some work from that. So it was just kind of a word-of-mouth deal that was going on in Houston.
Well, it turns out that some good friends of mine, Jessica Calvello and Allison Keith, Scott Kilgore, they were all telling me, "Oh, there's this company here in town that you need to go and audition for." And everybody had always made fun of my voice. That was just kind of the recurring theme all through my life. "Oh, you've got such a silly voice." So they were like, "You really need to do this." And I thought, no, nobody's going to want to use me. I'm not that professional. It turns out later on I was having a conversation with another friend of mine, Jason Douglas, and he again did the whole, "Oh, well, you need to contact this company here in town." He gave me the number, and I called, and it just happened that they were having open auditions that weekend, which is rare since they don't have them that often. So I went that weekend and auditioned, and the rest is history.
I was called in after the generals that I finally, I think I saw Stephen on that, I can't remember. So I was called in for a few minor voices, crowd noises, that kind of thing, just on a couple of films. And then the first role that I did with the character throughout the film was Sin, the movie, and I played J.C. Armack in that. So that was my first big role.
My first dubbing project was Martian Successor Nadesco, in which I played one of the How May girls, little kitchen girls, and her name was Keiko. I also did like various, "Don't let the Jovians come here, bad Jovians." That was my absolute first dubbing experience. My first like big, huge lead role experience was Miharu in Gasaraki, which is a totally different experience by far.
I think that the Orphan series came after Sin, and I played Cleo in that. And that was such perfect timing, I think, for that character, because as much as I enjoyed playing it, because I loved playing Cleo, she's kind of nutty, crazy, but it kind of allowed me, I think, to learn a lot in that process, and because I was pushed into so many different areas of voice acting that it became a real learning experience. And so it's probably, I would think, as far as busting into the side of the business, it's probably the one that's kind of closest to my heart, because it helped me break in, I think, and she was so nuts that, you know, I had a lot of fun playing her.
I've been really lucky here at ADV in that I've gotten the opportunity to play a variety of different roles, and I've enjoyed most every character I've played. There's some that kind of stand out more than others. Kirika is actually moving really fast up that ladder. I would have to say that probably Izumi Himuro in Princess Nine is one of my absolute favorites. I got the opportunity, you know, to play the villainess, but also a villain with heart. And Hyatt from Excel Saga is probably also one of my favorite roles, just because she's just fun.
Closest to my heart as far as performances on stage. That's where I started, obviously. The bulk of the work that I've done since I became an actor is on stage, and I think that when you look at acting or performance and you view it as an art, you really find the art of acting on stage, because it's developing a character, it's sustaining a character, it's live interaction, obviously, with the other characters on stage. It's also an interaction with the audience, and that's something that you don't find in any other medium. There's things that I like and don't like about you know, any medium, voice, film, or stage, but I think when it comes to some sort of self-expression, or what's the most fulfilling, or that sort of thing, it would definitely be on stage.
Well, I enjoy doing live theater. It's a lot of fun. You get that instant gratification of the audience, you know, applauding your performance. I really enjoy working on anime. I get to do things in anime that I would never get to do on stage. I mean, just look at Noir. I get to, you know, kill all these people, and I'm such a badass. And I may be a badass in real life, but I don't get to kill people. It's just so much fun, and it's challenging. You get these characters that you have to create that have to seem legitimate. They have to seem like real people, like Hyatt could really walk across the street, or Kirika could really walk across the street. And it's so much more challenging, and it makes it that much more fun.
Well, I haven't done a lot of film, but the little bit of film that I've done, I think what I like about it the most is, compared to stage, it seems so easy. It's a big adjustment, because since I came from stage, the thing that I had to learn was to tone it down. I had to learn that I was mic'd, and it wasn't necessary that I, you know, project to the 800 or 900 people that are sitting in a live audience. So in a way, coming from the stage, it just seems so easy. It's, I think the best thing to do is nothing. So that's kind of enjoyable. It's something that I would definitely like to do more of. And as far as voice acting, I like that you can, especially in anime, that you can play so many characters that, you know, obviously you really wouldn't be able to play anywhere else. And I love the fact that I can just wake up, brush my teeth, and come in my sweats. I think that's the most awesome part about it.
Well, in the theater, it's a totally different experience. I really enjoy getting to know the other people that are in the cast. It's a little more strenuous work schedule, but it's a lot of fun. You get that instant gratification from the audience. Anime I really enjoy, because you get to, although you don't know the people you're working with, you get to know them for the roles that they've done. And so you go to this first round of a volume, and you say, oh wow, you know, that's so-and-so from Excel Saga, and that's so-and-so from Gasaraki. So it's always fun playing that matching game of who plays who. Also, we just have a lot of fun. I mean, I know that sounds really weird, especially on a show like Noir, that I can actually go into the studio and have fun and not be all down and depressed and, oh, it's Noir. We have a lot of fun, and it's just a totally different medium, and I wish that every actor I knew got the opportunity to do this, because it's just a blast.
I would say that I would have to go back to Cleo as being the most challenging and difficult, and I think that that had to do with a lot of reasons. Probably because that was only the second film that I had done, and there was so much of it, and the fact that I was pushed, I guess, to really kind of expand what I thought I could do. So yeah, I would say as much as I enjoyed that, it was probably also the most difficult, but being from that, it's also where I learned the most. So.
Since I've gotten to play a wide variety of roles here at ADV, there's something complicated or difficult about each and every one of them. I'd have to say probably the most difficult would be Izumi Himuro from Princess Nine. I had to take this character that could be so mean and so evil and actually make the audience feel for her and care for her and worry about her. Another difficult one is Hyatt from Excel Saga, because she speaks so high-pitched, and I can't really do that today because I have a cold. But she speaks so high-pitched, and then all of a sudden she's hacking and she's like way down deep. So that's fun. Kirika is proving to be pretty difficult as well, only because she's so soft-spoken and she conveys so much in just a one-syllable, not even a word, a noise, and can make all the difference with her.